Alright, hello you guys. Welcome back to my channel. I feel like I'm already crying. This is going to be a very different video. I am not wearing any makeup. I am not going to be talking about beauty, fashion, any of that. And the reason I'm not wearing makeup is I'm probably going to cry. I'm going to try not to, but if I do, I'm going to cry because it's happy, okay? Kind of. So the day you're watching this is exactly 1 year. Okay, I'm gonna have to edit this down. That I lost my mom. And to say that it got easier over this past year is not accurate. To say that I've even begun to acknowledge that it's happened is not true. And sorry, I didn't want to cry this whole video. Oh my god, I should have put on makeup so I didn't cry. It's been really difficult, and I think people say, you know, time heals all wounds and things like that, and that's just not true. I think that we learn how to cope with it. We push past it because we have to get on with our regular lives. But I'm just waiting for a stink bug to come into the window. But whew, okay. Today I want this video to not just be crying. I want this video to be talking a little bit about my mom, and so you guys understand why I miss her so much. And what we're gonna do though is we're gonna paint, okay? So my mom collected these rocks around the campground and gave them to Arlo. So people painted on these little rocks. So you can see this guy right here. I mean, obviously I'm not gonna be this good. There's like a wolf with a moon. How cool is that, right? This one says be happy, and it's got a little flower on it. I don't know. Adorable, right? This little ice cream cone. So anyways, it's something that my mom collected for Arlo, and we have literally so many more. So many more. It was Easter. Here's a Santa Claus. I always wanted to be able to do it with my mom. And after she passed, I actually found so many throughout our neighborhood. And I regret not picking them up. But this is something that I would have loved to do with my mom, and I didn't get the chance to. So I have paints. I have rocks. So we're gonna paint some rocks because we're gonna go camping. We actually leave on either Tuesday night or Wednesday. We haven't decided which one yet. To go in her camper. So a little background, you might not even know that my mom was a full-time RVer. I don't even know what I'm painting. So this is gonna be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. And so she, yeah, was a full-time RVer, and I have no idea how the heck she did it, you guys. I'm clueless when it comes to anything with this RV. Every single day realize, like, or anytime I get into that RV, I realize, like, wow, my mom was such a freaking badass. And I didn't appreciate it when she was doing it. Like, I just had no idea how much it took to do something like that. And yeah, it was amazing. So she was a full-time RVer, and so I have her RV. We just got it out of storage last night. Realized the batteries are dead. It's always something. It's always something with the RV, but realized the batteries are dead. So thankfully Scott's, you know, very handy with stuff like that, and is going to replace those. But we're gonna take the RV out to Wichita Wildlife Refuge, which I've been to before. It's in Oklahoma, and I'm really excited. I feel most connected to my mom when we're camping, but it's also really sad because I know how much she would have loved to to go with Arlo. And so that's why it's so important to us to make these trips. And, you know, once Arlo gets older, to be able to, like, you know, explain to him that this was his grandma's and how she, like, couldn't wait to take him camping. But that we're still doing it, and I don't think that she could be, I don't think she would have wanted it any other way. She would have wanted us to keep it. She would have wanted us to take, you know, Arlo out. So I'm really excited to be doing that, especially during this rough time. Sorry, I'm putting paint everywhere. I just watched the Bob Ross documentary too, so I'm all about this. I have no idea what I'm painting. I figured I would do a sun on one because my mom had a tattoo of a sun right here on her wrist, and it wasn't colored, but I think I'm gonna make it colored. And I'm hoping that maybe some other family or little kids or grandmother finds these and brings them to her grandson or kids or whatever. It brings somebody some joy, like it did my mom. Okay, I think I have enough paint. One more. Yeah, this is not gonna be easy. This isn't gonna be easy. I wanted to make this video, like I said, not to just cry the whole time, but to also memorialize my mom and whatnot. So let's get started. I am not an artist. I should start off and preface that. Oh, I wanted to do some, like, do I not have brown? Ah, shoots. Color makes brown. Like all the colors mixed together, right? I don't know what I'm doing with this or how I plan to paint, because I'm not a good painter, but it's fine. So yeah, we're just gonna wing this, and I'm gonna tell you stories and stuff about my mom. So Halloween's also is coming up, and it's a very special holiday as well because my mom loved Halloween. My mom used to make all of our costumes homemade. She was an amazing she was an amazing sewer or seamstress, whatever. I don't know. This is terrible paint. This is not going to be as nice as their paint. But she was an amazing seamstress, and she could freaking, oh my gosh, she could paint anything. Or paint anything. She was very artistic. She was such a good drawer. But she could sew anything, and she would always make our costumes. And one year I was a Tootsie Roll, and it was the best Tootsie Roll ever. I'll never forget that costume. It was my favorite costume. So good. This is terrible paint. Don't buy these paints. They're from Walmart. They were hecka cheap. So I bought them. But I'm just gonna, like, really stack it up there. It'll dry eventually, right? I'm not artistic. Anyway, so Halloween's pretty difficult, so I'm excited to be able to, this is looking crazy, to be able to go home for Halloween this year. So we are going to spend Halloween in New York this year, and I'm gonna make our costumes. I'm gonna try to make them as good as my mom would have. She didn't even get to see our first Halloween costumes, which makes me super sad. I know she would have loved them, but anyways, some more about my mom. Let's use some orange because this is turning out really terribly. I don't know if I should focus the camera down on my painting skills, but anyways, some other things. So I still am going to therapy or doing therapy. I would be lying if I said I was doing it as much as I should be, because I'm not. It's one of those things, and I was talking to my brother about it the other day, that it doesn't even feel like she's gone. It just feels like she's, like, off the grid. Like I said, I didn't see my mom every day. She was a full-time RVer. I didn't see her every day. I didn't talk to her every single day. I talked to her a lot, don't get me wrong. This is turning out terrible. No one's gonna pick up these rocks. It's okay, my mom would say it's fine. It looks beautiful. But yeah, it feels like she's just off the grid and we just can't talk to her right now. And wow, I have so much more respect for the people who painted these really well because, girl, this ain't looking like a good sun. So I think that makes it harder, right? Because you have to admit that she's even gone to begin with. And I haven't. But I think that's somewhat normal. I don't know. I don't think it ever gets easier. And I hate to think that like I'm ever gonna forget about her, right? I won't. I won't no matter what. Ever. There's so many times that I just want to pick up the phone and call her. I just want to hear her voice. I haven't heard her voice. Since I lost her. And I think that's really hard. Normal, right? Good God, what am I doing? I'm trying to make this part lighter because it just is blending in with my sun. Oh my God, is that even a sun? Does anyone know what that is? Because I don't know what that is. But yeah, I just want to hear her voice. And I don't know. You know, I think the hardest part when you lose anybody is thinking what they went through, right? Before it happened, right? I hope. But I know my mom, so I know she was thinking that. She was thinking about everybody else. She was thinking about everyone that she was leaving. She was thinking about my brother. She was thinking about me. She was thinking about Arlo. She was thinking about her friends, her dog, everybody. Because that's the kind of person my mom was. And so that's what I think almost hurts the most, is imagining, you know, what she went through. This is a terrible sun. Here we go. First rock done. Wow. Wow. Okay. That was awful. My mom was never afraid of dying. She was super okay with it. Which, you know, looking at it now, I think I need like something to wipe this off on. Here we go. Looking at it now, and I know why, because she finally was living the life that she loved. She was traveling and she was meeting new people and she was, oh my God, she was amazing. She was amazing. But I wanted to think of something that I could do that made me remember my mom in a positive way and celebrate her. So I thought of painting. Again, like I said, she didn't paint, but I would have wanted to paint with her. I know how lucky I was to have a love like that in my life. And like I said, a lot of people don't feel that love. And I was lucky enough to have it. So, with that being said, my next rock is love. She was such a good cook. And she was one of those people that could just like, I'm just gonna make some polka dots on this to jazz it up a bit, you know? That like, no matter what, she had like nothing in the fridge, but she could pull together like any meal, you know? One thing she wasn't good at was cooking cream sauces or soup. She was so good at cooking soups, but not cream based. She would always burn them. She would always have to make 2 different macaroni and cheeses, one for my brother and one for me. I liked a cheddar cream sauce, like homemade, and my brother liked Velveeta. And she would make 2 different mac and cheeses for us. Like, who does that? She was amazing. And when she would come to visit me in college, she would make a bunch of food and keep it in my freezer, like chicken noodle soup, like when she wasn't around, and it would make me feel better. Okay, so that's how that guy turned out. I think something that I admire so much about my mom, and I never told her this, so I regret that, is how proud of her I am at, you know, 60 years old, 50, are they 55? Probably 55 years old. My mom's whole life was my dad and our family, and they got a divorce, and she started a whole new life for herself. It didn't come easy. She had some issues. She had some hard times, obviously, right? I mean, your whole life changes. And she picked herself up, bought an RV, and that is not easy. I'm curious, because I don't want this video to just all be sad. I'm curious to know, what are some tips and tricks if you've lost a parent, or not tips and tricks, what are some ways that you memorialize your parents, like you know, that you've lost, or loved ones in general, grandparents, friends? What are some things that you do to, like, around the anniversary of their passing? I did this in such a weird way, but we're just gonna make it work. What are some things that you do to help you to process through things? Because I feel like this is a fun way. Mom. Oh my god, I'm a terrible painter. I want these rocks to just, like, for someone to pick them up and just feel happy. No one's gonna want to keep these if my painting skills don't improve, because good lord. Curious to know, do you guys ever see painted rocks where you live? Because I see them all the time. She really was my best friend though, like without a doubt. Oh, my freaking leg is asleep. She was the first person I called when I had good news, when I had bad news. No matter what, she was always there. I wish so badly I could have gone camping with her. I feel like there was still so much that my mom had to teach me. Right? I guess. I'm gonna paint a flower on this one. My mom used to send me pictures of flowers all the time. And I think it was one of the last texts that she sent me. It's a picture of a flower. And she would always say it, or like in the text message, it would always be, "Have I told you lately that I love you?" And I have a little wooden plaque that she gave me that also says that. And it's in Arlo's room. Oh, my mom was also such a good gardener. She loved her flowers. And I remember I really liked when I was a kid and we'd go out like a late summer night and water the flowers. And there were these things called night glories. Night crawlers? No, those are worms. Night bloomers. I don't know if that's the actual name of them. It's just what my mom would call them. But they were yellow flowers and they would always bloom at night. And it was fun because that's when we would go out to water the flowers after it was so hot. And they would always come out. And so it was always, oh, nuts. Oh boy. Yikes. Probably should have prepped painting a little bit better than this, but you know, we're gonna make it. I don't know. This is definitely a different video for me to film, you guys, but I really, you know, love to share, I don't know, my life. And this is my life. This is it, you know? Sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's beautiful. It's always beautiful. Life is always beautiful. I thought about if I just had one more day with my mom, what would I do? I would go camping with her. We would sit in some chairs outside, and I would just ask her so many more questions. I would listen to her stories, and I would listen to anything that she wanted to tell me. This reminds me of like the intro to The Simpsons, which I haven't watched in forever. So we did clouds. So that's everything, you guys. Oh, I'm gonna put some grass at the bottom of this guy because he needs some grass as a flower. Can't have no grass as a flower. So we're gonna mix these two together to create some grass. So, yeah, you guys, I don't know. I had fun. So it's therapeutic. Obviously, kind of a crazy video, but I just really wanted to talk to you guys and let you in and talk about how it's okay to, even after a year of losing someone, not even register that you've lost them yet. And it's okay to not follow the typical grieving process. And it's okay to look for signs. And it's okay to not leave your bed for a day. It's okay to do all of those things because, you know, it's like everyone processes things completely different, and it's okay. It's okay. So if you've lost someone, my heart obviously goes out to you. And if you haven't, hug them a little tighter. So I think this is going to be our tradition of honoring my mom. And I think in the future, well, we're still going to do it. I'm still going to bring this stuff camping with us, and we'll still do some while we're out at the campground and leave them around as well. I just wanted to share it with you guys as well. I don't know. I just felt compelled to. So I wanted to paint a couple before we leave, and we will paint some while we're there. Arlo will paint some too. And we'll scatter them around the campground. And I think it'll be a fun tradition and a great way to honor my mom in such a sweet way. And we will, you know, Scott obviously got the chance to know her or meet her, but not know her. And so it'll be a great way for me to, you know, tell stories about my mom and keep her alive in my heart and in the people that I love's heart as well. So it'll just be a good way to, you know, remember the good things and tell stories about her and honor her while camping, doing the things she loved the most. So I will see you guys soon.